Sometimes when you least expect it, you can come face to face with a scary animal and you don't know how to react. Have you ever seen bison charge a person? What about a bear take a selfie with someone? If you want to see some unbelievable encounters, sit tight as we count down 15 scariest animal encounters you need to see.
Oh, fuck!
Number 15. Turkey. People usually eat turkeys for Thanksgiving, but this guy decided to take his turkey golfing. Or at least I think it's his turkey. It almost looks like a fencing competition the way this guy is trying to scare the turkey away. The turkey doesn't back down and absolutely wants to join this guy's foursome. This next clip shows a cyclist stopping on the road in front of a turkey, but the turkey isn't so pleased and lets the man know. The man is lying down and a turkey falls in love with him. The man tells the turkey he's going to call the cops, but the turkey doesn't seem fazed one bit by the threat. The turkey even climbs on the man's back and stomps on him, flapping its wings in joy. The lady filming is having the time of her life as she laughs out loud at the scene. These turkeys are amazed when they see the reflection on this car and begin to peck at the car. It's no big deal, except for the damages the car is incurring just because of a couple of turkeys didn't find themselves good looking enough when they saw themselves for the first time. Watch these two wild turkeys chase this man on the road. The man runs away, but the turkeys continue the chase. Finally, this turkey is extremely aggressive with this man on the side of a highway. The turkey doesn't stop pecking at the man. I didn't know turkeys could be so violent. Number 14. Deer. The deer at the zoo seem to be taking a morning stroll when the biggest one goes nuts and charges this man. The man holds onto the deer's antlers to protect himself, but the deer continues to push into the man, and as he and another man try to control the deer, I don't know if it's the correct approach, but one of the men hits the deer over the head with a shovel. In the end, the men sit on top of the deer until they get some help. I don't understand why they didn't just sedate the deer to calm it down instead of banging a shovel on its head. Aren't these people supposed to be trained for this type of stuff? In our next video, this deer is annoyed by all the traffic in the street and decides to greet this white gar by lowering its antlers and hitting the car with them. In our next clip, a white-tailed deer becomes violent and assaulted the show's host. The fight lasted approximately 45 minutes in total. One of the workers was gored and his leg required minor surgery to fix. Several more people assisted in securing the buck. This deer beats the hell out of this happy fellow as the man laughs when he falls to the ground. Finally, this deer was hitchhiking, and when it tried getting into the car, the driver changed his mind and pushed the deer out back onto the road. Number 13. Elephants. When an elephant is upset and becomes aggressive, it's time to run as fast as you can away from it. In this clip, this angry elephant goes on a rampage, destroying everything in its path. It picks up a motorcycle with its trunk and throws it to the ground. Everywhere it moves, it crushes whatever is in its way. I think the people around trying to help are making things worse by making the animal nervous and stressing it out. Here's a clip that's a little more relaxing as this couple watch this elephant walk around and munch on some fallen fruits laying on the ground. Next, this elephant was hungry, so it decided to drop by this restaurant for a pickup. But instead, the cook chased the elephant out of the restaurant with its cooking torch. I guess elephants are afraid of fire. This elephant decides to snack on this motorcyclist's helmet and walks away with it in its mouth. So much for driving safely on the roads. Imagine going for a bike ride and a huge elephant decides to chase you. That's exactly what's happening in this video as this massive elephant runs after these two cyclists. They must have had the scare of their lives. Next, an elephant on the rampage crushes this car on the road. These people were on their first safari enjoying the sights. I bet you can't experience a safari better than this. Finally, this elephant doesn't like being watched and lets these people in the Jeep know by chasing them out of the territory. The elephant is tenacious and the tourist in the vehicle must be scared to death. Enjoy the safari, ladies and gentlemen. Number 12. Seal. This seal entertains kayakers as it throws an octopus up into the air. The kayakers have a kick out of it and want more. Watch this seal jump out of the water and almost bite this man's arm off. Some people are just asking for it, and this guy's lucky he still has all his limbs. This leopard seal doesn't seem to appreciate the presence of the Zodiac boat and lunges into it. I don't know where these people are, but the scenery in the background is amazing. This surfer got a little more than he bargained for when the sea lion decided to surf alongside him. The surfer was lucky enough to get out of the water unscathed and had a moment to look at the seal. I guess the seal just wanted to have some fun. Number 11. Bison. This man takes a big chance trying to scare off these bisons. The bison must be asking themselves if this man is insane. Sometimes people go looking for trouble and they wonder why trouble finds them. This next man tries to photograph a bison, but the problem is there's a small calf present in the vicinity, and the adult bison might consider this a threat. Should he decide to charge this crazy man, it could be over quickly. Watch this bison charge this woman taking photos. What is it with these people walking freely among bisons as if they're domestic pets? Seriously, are these people insane? If you don't agree with me, then watch our next video and watch how this bison drags this woman all over the ground like it's a doll. I don't feel sorry for these people. They get so close, eventually they're going to get burned. In our next video, a man was slammed into a fence by an enraged bison at Utah's Antelope Island State Park, but escapes with only minor injuries. Finally, how dumb of a parent do you have to be to have one of these kids stand so close to such a dangerous and enormous animal? I'm seriously flabbergasted at the stupidity of certain people. This little boy could have easily been trampled and killed by this bison. Number 10. Leopard. In India, a leopard becomes trapped inside a house and then in a panic attacks the occupants. Meanwhile, the Forest Service sets up a net to catch it, as well as a tranquilizer rifle in case it tries to flee. In our next clip, after a leopard hid on the roof of a home and was discovered, the residents of a village in India were filled with fear. When the leopard wandered into the village, it terrified the locals and forced them to flee for their life. Fortunately, no one was hurt because of the incidents. The terrified animal dashed into a hunt's restroom to hide from the gathering. The leopard was eventually captured and released into the wild by the forestry department. In this next video, after sneaking into a Bangalore school for several hours, a leopard caused chaos. Before being apprehended, the beast mauled 6 individuals. Life may become kind of scary when you have to worry about leopards storming into your schools. Finally, this leopard almost manages to jump into this car, but the person inside the car closes the window before it does. Eventually, forest workers trap the big cat with a net so they can release it back into the wild. Number 9. Black bear. The first video is heart-stopping. Watch this bear walk right up to this woman to smell her. There's something about this lady that attracts the bear. Maybe it's her shorts. I don't know, but I would be crapping in my pants if this happened to me. The lady remains calm and doesn't move an inch, except she even has the audacity to take a selfie with the bear, who accepts the invitation. The bear walks away but remains, trying to bite her lightly and grab her with its paw. Nothing convincing, and as soon as the bear moves along, the lady quickly walks as far as possible from the bear as possible. Still, that is one brave woman. Next, this park visitor walks straight into this bear's path, and the bear begins to hunt after the man. The man only has a 15-foot lead on the bear, so this guy better get running if he doesn't want to be part of the bear's main course. When a woman was awoken in the middle of the night by repeating Ring floodlight cam warnings, she opened the Ring app and observed a bear trying to get into her chicken coop. She dashed to a window and frightened it away from a safe distance. In this video, this woman comes face to face with this bear, and after the bear tries to touch her lightly, the woman is able to run away. This is a very lucky and courageous woman. In this video, an angry mama bear runs after tourists because the bear thought they got too close to her cubs. Humans have a knack for always messing into other beings' businesses. Finally, these bears go after this food pack hanging 12 feet in the air. I guess nothing can stop a bear when it smells food. The bear literally gets to the food pack and tries to snatch it out, but it seems like the bear thinks nothing is in it. Number 8. Alligator. Watch this alligator spring out of the water after this woman stomps on her boat. That's one big alligator, and if I were that woman, I wouldn't be standing there for so long. How scary is that? Okay, the next video is crazy. This guy is a moron. I don't care how good this guy is at tightrope walking, but one false move, a sudden burst of wind, and this guy tips over. He'll be turned into scrambled eggs. Did you see how many alligators are waiting for him to falter and fall? I don't feel sorry for this guy if he falls because he's asking for it. This college senior poses with a gigantic alligator. She says this massive alligator is her best friend, and she insists she wasn't in any danger when she did this. Another knuckleball who knocked her head somewhere and thinks he's invincible. In our next video, this girl is riding her bike when she comes across 2 alligators sprawling across the bike trail. How much fun is that? I go bike riding and I'm lucky if I see a bird fly onto the branch of a tree. This girl meets 2 alligators. Next, this alligator's curiosity is aroused when this airboat enters its territory. The alligator poses for some of the tourists, and the airboat continues on its journey. After a 10-foot alligator took a massive bite out of this car's bumper, it will need substantial repairs. As the automobile drives away, the alligator can be seen clinging to the car. Finally, this man was out kayak fishing when he heard bubbles coming from behind him. He turned around to see the same alligator he'd seen earlier in the day, but this time in a different location. As a result, he decided to reel in his line, stop fishing, and shoot some photos. Alligators are usually passive and submerge as soon as they are seen, but this one let the man know that he was getting too close, acting aggressively. The man said he's never seen an alligator act like this before and believes he was near arrest. Number 7. Elk. In our first video, when this elk sees the man and his 2 dogs walk by, he tries to trample the dogs with its legs and comes very close but misses. Lucky dogs, because they could have been badly hurt. Next, this huge elk is checking out drivers for speeding on the highway. It hasn't caught anyone just yet. The elk almost charges the horse in this enclosure. I mean, it looks like the horse was also ready to go at it. But I think with those antlers, the elk had the slight edge. It's a good thing the horse was in the enclosure. In the next video, tourists arriving in Banff, Canada were greeted by a massive, majestic bull elk guarding his area. And some came up close to take photographs. There were numerous warnings saying that elk were especially dangerous at this time of year during the rutting season, and that people should keep their distance. They were just sitting in their car, admiring the elk, when another tourist arrived, this time a little too near. The elk, sensing danger, turned back and began chasing the man, to the point where the man had to dodge out into the busy road for safety. He could have been gored or trampled if he hadn't been able to get into the way he did. This elk doesn't seem to like snowmobiles, and it looks like it's threatening the drivers when it mimics it's about to charge them. The drivers find it kind of funny, so if they're not afraid, then I'm not afraid. Next, this bull attacks this woman in a park, and with the size of its antlers, it could easily decapitate her. A man managed to rescue the woman from the aggressive elk. Finally, these tourists get a close-up look at the elk, when they take photos of the animal. In my opinion, these people are way too close to the animal, and they are putting themselves and their children in danger. Number 6. Rhino. In our first video, a rhino chases a man and eventually catches up to him, trampling him in the process. Apparently, the man was badly injured and died later on. You can see the villagers transporting the man after the incidents. The rhinos in this next video seem kinda gentle and even allow these humans to pet them. I guess some rhinos are stressed out and others are zen-like. The next rhino is also chasing a man, but this time the rhino is not able to reach the man, who manages to escape from the massive beast. Next, watch this rhino ram into this white SUV with full force. I hope the driver knows a good body shot, because he will definitely need to find one after this excursion. Finally, these 2 rhinos chase this car into the bush. Either they want to ram into the car, or they are part of a covert mission and just following the team to their destination. Number 5. Ram. Rams are nuts, and they love ramming into people just for the fun of it. Check out this ram go after this man until the man just leaves. These animals have extremely hard heads, and headbutting is their specialty. This ram rams into the insulation this man is trying to bring into the house so he can insulate his walls, but Rambo has other ideas. Rams will charge into about anything, as you can see in this video when the ram has no problem smashing into this truck. The guy in the truck even honks to scare the ram away, but the ram just stays there and wants to do some more headbutting. Finally, when this man brings his drone a little too close to a ram, the ram destroys the drone. Isn't that to be expected from such an animal? Number 4. Cat. Cats are lovable animals, but sometimes if things don't go their way, they can surprise even their owners with a slash or a bite. Watch this cat try to scratch this woman's face with the quick left hook. This next video shows a bobcat getting close to the window of a house, and the house cat is furious. It hisses and growls at the bobcat. It's a good thing they are separated by the window. Next, this bobcat is grabbing lunch on the road as it stumbles upon a snake. It plays with the snake a little, then grabs it in its mouth and drops it again to play with it. Will this cat make up its mind, please? Getting a little tension in the process. A swarm of monkeys congregates to watch the 2 cats fight. They then stop the action when it becomes too violent. Finally, this monkey is having a blast teasing these 2 cats on the windowsill. It looks like the cats are enjoying themselves as well, even though one of the cats is hissing at the monkey. Number 3. Moose. In our first video, these kids must be terrified as this huge moose interrupts their trampoline session. The kids look at the moose attentively, and the moose is probably wondering what this contraption is. The moose finally decides to leave the kids enjoy their trampoline. Does. What do you do if you get home and you find a moose in your basement? That's exactly what this family in Idaho found when they got home one day. Rescuers picked up the moose and released it into its natural habitat. But what a scare that must have been. In our next video, in a peaceful suburb of Anchorage, Alaska, a battle between 2 moose was captured. Male moose are more aggressive at this time of year during their annual rut cycle, when they spend nearly all their energy impressing and mating with females. This next moose seems quite friendly when it decides to smell the front of this vehicle. What a big animal this is, and it has a funny looking face. In this video, you can witness a wild moose having a close interaction with people. However, the moose seems remarkably non-aggressive and unconcerned about people taking photos. Finally, this moose doesn't seem to bother the cyclist walk his bike on the bike trail. The moose is more interested in what's in the forest. I guess that is great news for the guy. Number 2. Snake. Watch how this hawk grabs the snake and drops it in the middle of a family barbecue. The snake slithers around as soon as it lands and the people in the yard panic. Who wouldn't? It was later heard that the hawk worked for Uberflies and was dropping off delivery. There is a Hong Kong restaurant that serves fresh python meat. The meat is so fresh, the cook grabbed the python from the ceiling tile so they can cook it for the clients, as you can see in this video. Can it get any fresher than this? Next, a snake decides it wants to play a little ball and is seen slithering on the baseball field. It is immediately apprehended and locked up. What do you do when you want to add some windshield washer to the reservoir of your car and you open up the hood and the 10-foot python is staring at you right in the face? I know I would run. Look at this huge snake as rescuers try to remove it from the motor. If I didn't know better, I would think it was part of the motor. Finally, an 18-foot python was discovered creeping across a rooftop after escaping from its enclosure in a Michigan neighborhood, giving residents a slithery surprise. Spectators flocked on the street from all over the neighborhood to see the snake slithering over the roof of a Detroit home's garage. Harvey, the 18-foot-long snake, could be seen slithering back and forth across the rooftop, seemingly unfazed by the crowd of people, cops, and dogs below. After about 10 minutes, a neighbor was seen on the roof, rescuing the errant snake after rushing home from work. I could just hear this guy telling his wife he'll be late for dinner because he has to remove a 10-foot snake from a rooftop. Number 1. Bull. Bulls can be extremely dangerous, and if they manage to ram into someone, it can be lethal. Next, this medical clinic is open to all customers. If you don't believe me, watch this cow come into the emergency room for help. The cow almost crushes a man in the corner of the reception area, but some people manage to pull the cow out just in time. Next, this bull decides it wants to chase the cyclist on the road. I guess the cyclist is getting a good workout. This kid is having fun feeding this Anglo Watusi cow. The cow looks calm and is enjoying the food. Finally, this Cape Buffalo rams into the Jeep and looks at all the damage it does on the vehicle. Cape Buffalo are extremely dangerous and unpredictable, and you better know what you're doing if you're ever around one. You must admit, we have seen some close call in this countdown. My favorite has to be the black bear taking the selfie with the woman. Which one was your favorite? Why don't you let us know in the comments below? Well, that's our countdown of 15 scariest animal encounters you need to see. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.